Hey everyone, it's Jack and Sam from Cultaholic.com. It is February the 13th.
Yes, it is.
And it's time to take a look at all of the wrestling news. In today's news, Dean Ambrose allegedly went off script during this week's Monday Night Raw. Not only was there a reshuffle in the Elimination Chamber, but there was also a mammoth match last night on SmackDown Live. And finally, in sad news, WWE legend Pedro Morales has sadly passed away. Right, okay, let's start off with the news courtesy of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, or Wrestling Observer Radio, that Dean Ambrose allegedly went off script on Monday Night Raw.
Big bad Deanie Bo Beanie.
I know, what's he playing at? Now,
I'll tell you what he's playing at, a massive work.
No, I don't think it's a work, I think it's actually...
He's either staying with the company or he's retiring. Those are the two options, I think.
I think it's totally a shoot. I think he's leaving.
Nah, I don't know.
Well, first of all, I'll break down what happened for those who didn't see Raw this week. Basically, Seth Rollins came out, cut a promo, and was saying Brock Lesnar's held this industry hostage for 2 years now, and I'm going to do anything it takes to take the title from him at WrestleMania. I don't care if it's the last match of my career, he was saying.
Yeah.
Heyman came out, Lesnar wasn't with him this time, and he cut a very Paul Heyman promo saying, you know what, you're really good and stuff, but you're not Brock Lesnar, he's going to win. And then Rollins went, no, I'm going to win. It was like that. Wrestling's really simple when you boil it down to just the core. Yeah. But then Heyman left, Rollins was winding up, and then Ambrose's music hit. It was one of those things that Raw started.
The music where it starts with
yes, and then it's one of those things that Raw started to do recently where they kind of fade segments into each other a little bit, giving them more of a fluid feel. So Ambrose did have the next match on the show against EC3.
Yeah,
but also at the same time,
he had a lovely little script to read from, didn't he?
Apparently so, and that's the thing, like, he only said one line on Raw, which was slay the beast, which means obviously I want you to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Apparently he was meant to say more, he was meant to have way more lines, and they were meant to refer to the Shield quite a lot.
Why is he being all chummy now that he's leaving?
Well, I think it's to build hype that maybe the Shield will get involved in the WrestleMania match, or at least in the celebration afterwards. So that's the new hot thing on the block. I've seen several writers and reviewers and stuff on Twitter be like, are the Shield gonna, since this news broke, be like, are the Shield gonna get involved with the match? Are they gonna somehow, because it would be a huge moment if Roman Reigns helped him win, or did something. But at the same time, it's another example of Ambrose's weird career in the few weeks since handing in his notice. Well,
this thing is, I firmly believe, because of the way it was handled, it's either a massive work, because it was like, oh, he's leaving us. You've never done that for anybody before WWE. So why is this different? Or they could be building toward, I guess, a big money match for Ambrose, or a big moment that's sort of a big farewell last thing ever. But I don't think Dean's got that sort of mega star power to get that.
Right.
Like the big sort of final match where they can build to it, like, say if you said Ric Flair's retiring, and everybody buys in for that match, but I don't know if it's like, Dean Ambrose is leaving, here's his last match. I don't think there's a suitable opponent that would work. I just don't think it's right.
I think it's legit, and I'll explain why.
Yeah.
I think that it's...
You're wrong.
I think that it's WWE attempting to devalue Dean Ambrose in the build-up to him leaving. So, so if he did go to AEW, which I'm sure they're wondering, and everyone is, I reckon they're going to be thinking, well, at least then, when he's gone, we've taken away some of his momentum because we've had him look like an idiot in front of Nia Jax.
Yeah.
But not. I think this whole thing is potentially him expressing his frustration at that situation.
Yeah, possibly.
Because if they just sent him home, if they just did what they did with Neville, then when Pat came back to the independent scene, it's still going on. The momentum's still carrying on. Everyone's like, whoa.
No, when I say for him to go home, I mean like that might be it. That might be the end of his career.
I don't think
go home and crack on, but. I think personally, if he is going to leave, he will go off. And the problem is, you're devaluing Dean Ambrose. You're not devaluing Jon Moxley, because Jon Moxley's like a legend on the wind. Like, people who've never seen the hardcore stuff are wanting to see it. So you're damaging a character that you've built. So.
I agree with that. I think the WWE I think they're thinking, let's just take a bit of the sting out of him before he goes. And I think it's not going to work.
It prevents a shock appearance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I get it, but it's a bit...
Yeah.
Right, so in other news, on SmackDown Live, which took place obviously last night, there was a reshuffle in the Elimination Chamber match, the men's one.
Because I haven't had a chance to watch SmackDown yet, so you're going to spoil it for me.
I'm sorry.
The bloody morning news.
But
usually have it on my second screen while I'm editing.
No, you did point out that you did hear that Mustafa Ali's out and that Kofi Kingston's in.
Yes.
That's
Mustafa Ali got a concussion at a house show, right?
Right, I think so. He cut a really good promo, like one of his pre-tape promos explaining that he was out of the match.
It's such a shame that for me, because like Mustafa Ali inside a chamber, I think the level of crazy stuff you'd see him do would be unreal, and especially with Orton thrown in there. But just see him climbing the cage and going upside down and doing triple backflips and stuff. Well, they're going to lose that now.
But I think, and
all right, we're going to have some handstands though.
This sounds right. Well, you're going to feel like a fool, sir, because I'll tell you what happened on SmackDown last night. Right, they've made the match, in my opinion, more exciting. Yeah. So they had Kofi come in. Okay. They had a gauntlet match, like a long one. It lasted an hour, I think, or more, to determine whoever won it would be the final entrant in the Elimination Chamber. So Kofi starts off against Daniel Bryan and beats him in 25 minutes. What? Yes, that's right. Pins him clean with the Trouble in Paradise, right? Oh my god. Then Jeff Hardy comes out. Kofi beats him as well. How long? It was like 10 minutes, that one. Oh god. Then Samoa Joe comes out. He doesn't beat Samoa Joe. Clamps on the Coquina clutch. Yeah. Kofi does the Bret Hart finish, rolls off the turnbuckle, pins him because Joe won't let go of the submission. It's awesome. Then this is. I mean, I love Kofi to pieces. It sounded before like I did when I was going on about handstands. Yeah. But like, it's very rare you get to see him actually. I know. Like, I'm buzzing. Bust it out. But it's out of the blue though, isn't it? Slightly. Yeah. Then AJ Styles comes out. And he goes like, right. Kofi's former WWE like. Sorry, after Joe's been eliminated by Kofi, he then chokes him out on the outside and beats him up because it's Samoa Joe, he's not happy. Yeah, of course. AJ comes out and gets him off because he's a good sportsman. Gets him off, eh? No, yes, he does. He gets him off Kofi because he's a good sportsman. Yeah. They get in the ring, Kofi like wakes up again, he's like, no. And AJ's like, there's great footage online already on Twitter of AJ going like, it's alright man, don't worry, it's fine. And Kofi just starts going, fire me! Like he's probably like, oh, it's so good. But then Styles eventually beats him with the calf crusher, taps him out. Kofi's lasted an hour and 12 seconds, I think, by this point. Oh. So yeah. And then AJ's last opponent is Randy Orton. He's facing the entrance ramp. Orton comes out from the back. RKO, 1, 2, 3. Orton's the last entrant in the Elimination Chamber. But I think that adds so many more dynamics now to the Elimination Chamber match. He got a pinfall over the WWE Champion. That's mental. Yeah. Well, not WWE. Oh no, he did. He got over Bryan. Yeah, Jesus. My brain defaulted there. I thought you were talking about Styles. No. That's baffling. That's absolutely baffling. Out of nowhere. But then the New Day have obviously been all over Twitter saying like he's going to win the big one. And I don't think he will, but it adds the possibility though. I mean, if there's somebody that's been there long enough that maybe deserves it. Oh, definitely, Kofi Kingston. It's some of the only gold that they haven't held as a tag team. Yeah. So I think that it just adds. I'm now intrigued to see what Kofi's story is going to be for WrestleMania, even if he doesn't win at the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, like I'd love to see Kofi get a meteoric push, but for that to happen, in my eyes, you have to split up the New Day. Oh, you could have one of them cost him when he's about to have his big moment. It could be that. You could have a horrible breakup, or you could have them respectfully go for it. Yeah, I like that. Put it on hold. I like that. But I think that's more likely what we get. But can you imagine like a Big E heel turn? I know. The moment Kofi's about to finally win it. Oh. Well, the good thing, it opens up so many possibilities this match. Does, and it sounds amazing. I've not had a chance to watch it in full, but Kofi making a big play to get on Wrestlers of the Week there. He's tried his best. And finally, obviously in sad news, WWE legend and former champion Pedro Morales has passed away at the age of 76. One of the greats, honestly. One of the old school greats. It was Parkinson's that sadly was the cause of his death, but I think he's had a career really to be celebrated. God, yeah. Fourth longest reigning WWE champion, longest reigning Intercontinental champion. Yeah. Was a massive hero to his home people in Puerto Rico. Yeah, and also the working classes in New York. Yeah. He was kind of a San Martino figure as well. Yeah. First ever Triple Crown champion in WWE history. That's amazing. Well, I was doing some research on Pedro for the old list we did, every WWE champion. Right? And his was amazing because he was a bit of a Kurt Angle or Ronda Rousey in that he came in 970 and within a year he won the championship for Adam Koloff. So just the potential they saw in him immediately was evident. It's just it's a shame that he's not talked about on the level of like how San Martino is the guy, obviously, but like you never get Morales getting spoken about daily about like how good he was. And I guess it's like
it's just because he wasn't the longest reigning, maybe, but he definitely deserves, I think, a lot more recognition than he gets.
I think so as well. I think maybe it's just because he falls into that category between Sammartino and Hogan, where
the sort of the weird phase, yeah.
And I think that Sammartino then held the belt again for a long time after
he
him.
did. Sammartino has the first and third longest single reign.
Right.
So.
Well, but no, one of the absolute greats. I think his most famous match, apart from losing the title at Stanstasia, would be the match of the century, at Shea Stadium against Sammartino, which was a face versus face match, which wasn't that common at the time. And they wrestled for like an hour or whatever, and they had to stop because of the curfew.
And they embraced afterwards, which was a very early sort of sportsmanship and sort of broke that curtain a little bit for wrestling. But yeah, it's just really sad, isn't it? Sad
news, but a career to be celebrated, and he was an absolute pioneer, not just in terms of what he did in his career, but what he did for people of his race as well. So just an absolute hero. So that's it for the news. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com, joined by Sam. You can find us on Twitter at JackTheJobber and at LesterFind, respectively. You can follow us on Patreon as well if you want to, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And if you haven't done so already, do not forget, of course, to hit subscribe and to join us.